Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, holding your hairbrush, and quietly wondered, why does this still feel so hard? Why, after all these years, is something as simple as doing my hair still feel like a daily struggle? If you've ever had that thought, you are not alone. And here's the truth. This has nothing to do with vanity and everything to do with identity. Today, we are not going to talk about perfection. We're going to talk about ease, about softness, about feeling like yourself when you look in the mirror, not the younger version, not the filtered version, but the real you. This video is about rediscovering confidence through your hair, not through effort or products or pressure, but through understanding. I'm going to share 5 simple, powerful hair secrets for women over 60. Not tips, not hacks, but real-life, lasting wisdom that can shift the way you think about beauty, aging, and most of all, yourself. So, take a breath. This is not about doing more. This is about doing what feels right for you. Let's begin. 1. It's not about effort. It's about understanding. What if the secret to good hair after 60 had nothing to do with effort, and everything to do with understanding? We've been taught for decades that beauty takes work, that a polished look requires tools, time, and control. But what if that's no longer true for you? What if now, in this stage of life, your hair is asking for something different? See, your hair is not the same as it was in your 30s or 40s. It may be thinner now, or drier. It may have lost some of its volume, or maybe it's just doing its own thing no matter what you try. And you know what? That's not a problem. That's nature, that's experience, that's life. The trouble begins when we try to force it back into something it used to be. We fight with it. We get frustrated. We think, maybe I'm just not doing it right. But what if the real shift, the real wisdom, is learning to stop fighting? Because here's the truth. Effortless hair isn't about having perfect hair. It's about knowing your hair, knowing its texture, its rhythm, and its needs right now. It's about understanding how your lifestyle, your health, and your values have changed, and letting your hair reflect that evolution instead of resisting it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at your hair with curiosity instead of criticism? When was the last time you simply asked, "What do you need today?" instead of grabbing the flat iron or pulling it into a bun just to get out the door? Understanding your hair is an act of kindness, and kindness changes everything. It changes your morning. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes how you feel when someone compliments you, not because you look like someone else, but because you finally look like you. So before we talk about styles or products or routines, this is where we begin, with understanding. Because when you stop working against your hair, you start working with it. And that's when everything begins to feel lighter, easier, and more joyful. You don't need to do more. You just need to listen more closely. Your hair is still yours. It's just telling a new story now. And it's a beautiful one. 2. The haircut that lifts more than just your face. Let's talk about something that doesn't always get the credit it deserves, your haircut. Not the fancy blowout, not the trendy styling tricks, just the cut itself. Because here's the truth. The right haircut can completely change how you feel. It can make your mornings easier. It can brighten your features. It can lift your spirit without lifting a finger. But so many of us are still holding on to styles that suited who we used to be. Maybe it's the long layers you've worn since your kids were little, or the chin-length bob that worked great 20 years ago, but now just feels like work. And listen, I get it. That old cut might feel familiar, safe, comfortable. But comfort can sometimes turn into a rut. You don't need a drastic change. You don't need to chop it all off and start over. You just need a style that supports the woman you are today. A haircut that fits your lifestyle, your energy, your pace. If you're constantly on the go, something like a shoulder-length lob with soft, face-framing layers might be just right. It grows out gracefully and doesn't demand a lot of upkeep. If you prefer something even simpler, The classic pixie cut is more versatile than people think. With a little styling paste and your fingertips, you can go from cozy and casual to polished and confident in under a minute. And if you're somewhere in between, try a chin-length bob with gentle texture. Not too long, not too short. Just clean, light, and elegant. Here's a powerful tip most people don't hear. Ask your stylist for a cut that grows out well. Because most of us don't want to sit in a salon chair every 3 or 4 weeks. We want something that holds its shape, even as it softens. And remember, the best cut isn't the one that looks good on someone else. It's the one that feels like you, that mirrors your values, that makes your day easier, not harder. Because a good haircut doesn't just frame your face, it supports your whole life. So if your current cut doesn't lift you up, maybe it's time for one that does. 3. Your 5-minute hair ritual. Let's be honest, some mornings don't feel gentle. The day starts early, the to-do list is long, and before you've even had your coffee, you're already solving problems, answering calls, or tending to someone else's needs. In the middle of all that, your hair, something that should feel simple, can quickly turn into a source of stress. But what if, instead of being another task, your hair routine could become a ritual, a pause, a grounding moment that belongs only to you? Not for beauty's sake alone, but for something deeper, self-respect. Because at this stage of life, simplicity isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. And a 5-minute ritual that works every time can be a quiet revolution in how you carry yourself through the day. So let me walk you through a few beautiful no-fuss styles that don't take effort, just a rhythm. These aren't flashy, they're graceful, and more importantly, they're doable. First, let's start with the soft low bun. It's timeless, elegant, and incredibly forgiving. You gather your hair gently at the nape of your neck, twist it, tuck it under, and pin it in place. Don't worry about making it perfect. In fact, a few loose strands left around the face add softness and charm. You'll look polished, but never overdone. It's the kind of style that feels relaxed and graceful at the same time. Next, consider the half-up twist. You simply take the top section of your hair, just above the temples, twist it back, and secure it with a small barrette, clip, or even a decorative pin. This adds lift at the crown, opens up your face, and keeps your hair out of the way without making it look like you tried too hard. It's effortless beauty, and it works with almost any hair texture or length. Another favorite is the side part with tucked ends. Start by parting your hair deeply to one side. Smooth it with a touch of leave-in conditioner or styling cream, and then gently tuck one side behind your ear. This frames your features in a flattering way and adds a touch of sophistication, especially when paired with earrings or a soft scarf. It's simple, elegant, and requires zero heat or styling tools. If your hair is short, perhaps a pixie or a soft, layered crop, you're already working with a wash-and-go advantage. But even short hair benefits from a little shaping. Use a small amount of lightweight styling paste, emulsify it in your hands, and work it through the roots and crown. This gives your hair volume and texture in under a minute. You'll feel confident and put together, no matter what the day throws at you. But here's the truth about 5-minute hair routines. It's not really about the hairstyle. It's about how you feel when you walk away from the mirror. It's the feeling of being cared for, even if only by yourself. It's the quiet sense of control on a day that might otherwise feel rushed. It's the message you send to yourself that says, I matter enough to take this moment. These rituals don't require perfection. They just need consistency. They need presence. And in a world that's constantly asking more from you, choosing to give 5 minutes back to yourself is an act of strength, not indulgence. So tomorrow morning, instead of rushing past the mirror, pause for a moment. Touch your hair. Breathe. Choose one simple style that feels soft, calm, and true to you. It doesn't have to be flawless. It only has to feel right. That's the power of a 5-minute ritual. It doesn't change just your hair, it changes the energy you carry for the rest of your day. 4. The heat-free secret to healthier hair. Here's something no one told us when we were younger. Your hair doesn't need heat to be beautiful. In fact, the older we get, the more our hair begins to whisper, not shout, what it needs. And most of the time, what it's asking for is gentleness. There was a time when curling irons, blow dryers, flat irons, and rollers felt like part of the daily routine. The heat gave us control, polish, volume. But what it also gave us, quietly, over time, was dryness, breakage, fragility. That's because aging hair, like aging skin, becomes more delicate. It doesn't bounce back the way it used to. It holds less moisture, loses protein more quickly, and becomes more vulnerable to stress. So every blast of hot air, every high-heat styling tool, every quick fix we used to rely on, it now costs us more than it gives back. But there's good news. And it's surprisingly freeing. You don't need heat to look good. You don't need it to feel put together. What you do need is a new rhythm, a softer rhythm, one that works with your hair instead of working on it. Let's start with the most underrated technique of all, air drying, with purpose, not just letting your hair drip and hoping for the best. I mean treating your air dry like a gentle ritual. After you wash your hair, apply a leave-in conditioner or lightweight styling cream while it's still damp. Then, depending on your texture, you can gently scrunch, twist, or smooth your strands to shape them as they dry. If your hair is wavy, scrunching encourages natural waves. If it's straight, brushing it softly into place can help it dry sleek. Now, let's talk about overnight styling. This one's a game changer, especially if you prefer to do less in the morning. Slightly dampen your hair before bed, not soaking wet, just lightly misted, and braid it loosely or twist it into 2 low buns. Secure it gently with soft hair ties or scrunchies that won't leave creases. By morning, you'll have soft, touchable waves that feel relaxed and intentional, not styled to perfection, but styled to feel like you. Another beautiful way to work without heat? Accessories, a well-placed clip, a fabric headband, a velvet scrunchie. These little touches add variety, movement, and even personality to your look without any extra effort. They allow you to change things up, lift the hair off your face, or create softness around the eyes, all without heat tools or chemicals. If you wear your hair short, texture can still be your best friend. Styling mousse or texture spray can bring short layers to life in seconds. Work a small amount into your fingertips, then press gently into the crown or ends. This gives shape and definition without stiffness and allows your hair to move naturally. And here's a trick most women never hear. Change your part line. Yes, just flipping your part to the opposite side can instantly add volume at the roots. It's subtle, but powerful, especially if your hair tends to lie flat or you're trying to add energy without washing or restyling. But the biggest change of all isn't a product or a tool. It's patience. Let your hair be. Let it move the way it wants. Let it dry slower. Let it fall into place naturally. This may feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you've spent years trying to train your hair to behave. But the more you allow it to just be, the more you'll notice something quietly beautiful happening. Health returns, texture softens, shine comes back. And perhaps most importantly, you stop feeling like your hair is a problem to fix. The truth is, the less you do, the more you start to see the real beauty of your hair, not in comparison to who you used to be or what the magazines say is current, but in the way your hair reflects the life you live now, free, wise, gentle, and yours. So if you've been stuck in the cycle, blow dry, flat iron, repeat, it might be time to step off the hamster wheel. You've earned a different kind of rhythm, one that begins with ease and ends with self-respect. You don't need more heat, you just need more you. 5. Stop making these 5 mistakes. Let's take a moment to talk about something many of us quietly struggle with, but rarely say out loud: the mistakes we make with our hair as we age. Now, these aren't mistakes out of carelessness. They're habits, patterns, things we picked up over the years and never questioned, because at one time, they worked. But if your hair feels more frustrating than freeing these days, there's a good chance that something in your routine no longer serves you. Let's walk through the 5 most common mistakes women over 60 make with their hair, and more importantly, how to let them go. Mistake number 1, holding on to a style that no longer reflects who you are. Maybe it's a long, heavy cut you've worn since your 30s. Maybe it's bangs that once framed your face, but now feel like they're hiding it. We often keep a familiar style because it feels safe, comfortable. But comfort can become a rut, and over time that old style might stop feeling like a reflection of you. It might start making you feel invisible, tired, even older than you are. Letting go of a long-time haircut doesn't mean letting go of yourself. It means creating space for who you've become. Mistake number 2, cutting your hair short because you think you have to. There's a common myth that once you hit a certain age, short hair is the only appropriate option. But that's just noise. Yes, short styles can be fresh, flattering, and empowering, but only if you love them. You don't need to cut it all off unless it fits your lifestyle, your features, and your personality. Shoulder-length hair, soft lobs, or even long gray waves can look stunning on women over 60. The key is to choose a length that brings you ease, not anxiety. Mistake number 3, fighting your natural texture. Wavy hair, curly hair, pin-straight hair, whatever you've been born with, it's part of your story. But many women over 60 still find themselves trying to iron out curls, flatten waves, or force volume where there's none. And over time, that constant push and pull damages the very thing you're trying to improve. What if instead you embraced what your hair naturally wants to do? Enhancing your own texture with a layered cut, the right product, or a soft air-dry routine can reveal a kind of effortless beauty you may not have seen in years. Mistake number 4, using the wrong products for the hair you have now. Hair in your 20s is very different from hair in your 60s. It's not just thinner. It may be drier, more fragile, more sensitive to buildup. But many of us are still using the same shampoo we used 20 years ago. It's time to shift. Look for products designed to support moisture, volume, and strength. And be mindful. Heavy gels and waxes can weigh down thinning strands, making your hair look flat or greasy. Lighter is often better. Choose quality over quantity. And if you're unsure, ask your stylist or do a little research. A few small changes can make a world of difference. Mistake number 5, coloring your hair in ways that fight your natural beauty. Let's talk about color, not just covering gray, but the intention behind it. Too dark, and it can create harsh lines and shadows that age your face. Too light, and it may wash you out. The right shade does more than hide grays. It brightens your whole appearance. And here's something powerful. You don't have to erase the silver. Many women today are choosing to blend, soften, or completely embrace their gray hair, and the result is often radiant, modern, and deeply authentic. Whether you color your hair or not, let the choice come from you, not from fear. Now here's something deeper. The most common mistake we make isn't on this list. It's forgetting that your hair is part of your identity. It's not just something you fix. It's how you show up in the world. When your hair doesn't feel right, you shrink a little. You hesitate. You doubt. But when it does, you stand taller. You feel more at home in your own skin. So take a moment today or tomorrow morning and ask yourself honestly, does my hair reflect the woman I am now, or is it still trying to represent someone I used to be? If the answer makes you pause, that's okay. That's where growth begins. Letting go of these 5 mistakes isn't about guilt or regret. It's about reclaiming your reflection, step by step, strand by strand. Not because you're trying to look younger, but because you want to feel more you. Your beauty hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting for you to meet it where you are. 6. Your signature look is already within you. Let's take a breath. You've made it through styling tips, haircuts, texture, mistakes, and change. And now we've arrived at the heart of it all. Not the surface, but the center. Your signature look. What is a signature look? It's not something you find in a magazine. It's not a celebrity style to copy or a trend to follow. It's something far more personal and far more powerful. Your signature look is you at ease. It's the quiet confidence of knowing what works and letting go of what doesn't. It's waking up, brushing your hair, pulling it back or letting it fall, and not second-guessing a single thing. It's the comfort of a routine that feels like rhythm. A rhythm that feels like home. And the beautiful part? You don't need a stylist to give it to you. You already have the ingredients. Start with your haircut, something that grows out well, that requires little heat and supports your day, not interrupts it. If it doesn't make your mornings easier, it's not the right cut. It should move with you, not demand more of you. Then, pick 1 or 2 go-to styles, not for variety, but for peace of mind. A soft bun, a side part and tuck, air-dried waves, a pixie with lift. Whatever feels most natural in your hands. Make it yours. Practice it until it takes no thought at all, until it becomes second nature. Add just a few trustworthy tools. A wide-tooth comb that never pulls, a styling cream that adds softness, a clip you love, a scarf that makes you smile. That's all. You don't need more products. You need fewer things that truly work. And finally, the most important part of all, turn your daily routine into a moment of care, not a chore, not something rushed in front of a foggy mirror, but a pause. A few quiet minutes where you remind yourself, I matter. I still matter, especially to myself, because how you begin your day shapes everything that comes after. When you give yourself just 5 minutes of care, of calm, of gentle attention, you show up differently. You move with more ease. You speak with more clarity. You're more patient, more open, more you. This is what your signature look really is. It's not the style. It's the feeling. It's that moment when you catch your reflection, not to judge it, but to recognize it, to smile, to say, that's me, that's who I am today, and I like her. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to look younger. You don't need to fix what's already beautiful. You just need to choose softness over struggle, ease over effort, and self-respect over someone else's idea of what beauty should be. So tomorrow, when you stand in front of the mirror, ask yourself one simple question. Does this feel like me? If it does, walk out that door and live your day fully, proudly, naturally. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You have every right to begin again, because this is your time, and you wear it beautifully. If this video made you pause, even for a moment, to think about your hair, your reflection, or how you care for yourself each day, then I hope you'll carry that feeling forward. Not because I said something new, but because something true inside you was ready to hear it. And if it helped, even in a small way, share it with someone you love. A sister, a friend, someone who might be standing in front of the mirror tomorrow asking the same quiet questions. You never know who might need a gentle reminder that she's not alone, and she's still radiant. And I'd love to hear from you. What part of your hair routine feels most like you right now? What have you let go of? Or are you still holding on to something that might be time to release? Leave a comment below. I read every word. And if you'd like more conversations like this about beauty, wisdom, and embracing this season of life with grace, consider subscribing. This space is for you. Until next time, be kind to yourself. You're not behind, you're becoming.